Can you believe it? The jade pendant that Qin Mu always carries with him is not a simple protective talisman, but a terrifying seal. Although it has saved Qin Mu's life many times during his near-death encounters in Yudu, the truth is that within it lies another consciousness, Qin Fengqing, the first godson of Yudu. That is why every devil god trembles before this pendant, because in reality, it is a living furnace of life and death. Don't be deceived by how weak Qin Mu may seem when fighting the devil gods. If Qin Fengqing were ever released, those so-called devil gods wouldn't even be enough to fill the gaps between his teeth. To him, ordinary devils are nothing more than snacks. Qin Fengqing is a being who shattered the laws of life and death the moment he was born. He possesses celestial palace-level strength, bearing within him the bloodlines of ancient gods, demigods, and post-celestial beings, and is unbound by the laws of Yudu. He once devoured countless devil gods beneath the blood moon, and when his third demonic eye opened, even the yellow springs of the nine hells began to flow backward. They call him the child of chaos. Even Tu Bo, the Earth Count, the first god with horns and a tiger's head who rules over Yudu itself, feels fear in his presence. Qin Fengqing is the descendant of the founding emperor, the one who once established the heavenly court and ruled over all realms. But later, outer demon gods invaded, the heavenly court fell, leaving behind the chaotic lands now known as the Great Ruins. Those gods and demons sought to wipe out the founding emperor's bloodline, endlessly hunting down his descendants, even invading Yudu to slay Qin Fengqing. Yet within Yudu, he was nearly invincible, devouring every devil god who came to destroy him, shaking the power balance of the great underworld factions. One night, at the eastern altar of the founding emperor's heavenly court, 100,000 outer gods and devils surrounded him in a siege, but they were all turned into rivers of blood, which he used to hold his full moon banquet. Qin Fengqing killed and slaughtered until it became an addiction, washing corpses, refining souls, earning him the dreadful title, a Yuroi godson of Yudu. The great powers of Yudu could no longer withstand him. In desperation, they were forced to invite Tu Bo to act. Tu Bo knew that if Qin Fengqing continued his massacre, the devil gods of Yudu would soon be completely devoured, and even Yudu itself would face destruction. Thus, they decided to seal his soul and banish him to the mortal world. Tu Bo tore off a fragment of jade from beneath his own feet and forged it into a jade pendant. Meanwhile, Qin Fengqing's mother left a mark of her child's identity upon the pendant. When Qin Fengqing wore it, his divine and demonic natures were sealed, his body returned to its ordinary form, and he was reborn as an infant. After being cast down to the mortal realm, a second consciousness was born within that body, and that was Qin Mu. Because his body was that of the godson of Yudu, Qin Mu was born with the ability to comprehend divine and demonic languages, mastering them simply by hearing. Later, when Qin Mu awakened his third eye, Qin Fengqing emerged within it, bloodthirsty and hungry for souls, nearly breaking the seal to devour the butcher and the others. At that critical moment, Tu Bo appeared once more, using the jade pendant to reveal the demonic eye. The pendant was then drawn into the third eye itself. From that day onward, that eye could see endlessly into Yudu, even perceiving the underworlds where the gods had been entombed. With it, Qin Mu could tear through the boundary between yin and yang, and kill with a single glance. As time passed, Qin Mu opened both his divine path spirit treasury and demonic path spirit treasury. Each time his third eye opened, the two paths within him, divine and demonic, began to merge, allowing him to reach the realm of divine-demonic unity. Over a long coexistence, the relationship between Qin Mu and Qin Fengqing gradually improved. When facing an overwhelmingly powerful foe, Qin Mu would release Qin Fengqing to fight. And so, when an enemy believes they have finally defeated Qin Mu, will they be ready to face the godson of Yudu, the being far more terrifying, Qin Fengqing? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to support our channel. This video will end here.